Welcome back to my channel Learning Point with DK, and today I will teach you the chapter Footprints Without Feet, which is written by H.G. Wells. Two boys, they followed footprints until it was disappeared when the person who was invisible and walking on the muddy road. That person came on the metal road and the footprints were disappeared. The boys were amazed. Actually, the person who was walking being invisible was a genius scientist but a very rude and not to be loved that type of person named Griffin. This person experimented and made a type of drug of a potion which he used on him, which he ate or you can say drank and turned into invisible. After that, he had no any other drug to take him back into visibility. For that, it means to become again invisible to visible, he needed lots of experiments, so lots of money as well. And therefore, he wanted to go to a bare piece of land, a loneliness place. What happened with him? Because he was also very indolent, very tempered, short tempered person. He didn't like that anyone would talk to him any abrupt manner. The way the house owner where he was living on an rented house, that owner asked him to leave the house because of his bad behavior, and because of that he didn't like the house owner and he set the house on fire. As he set the house on fire, so he had to run away from there. And because he set fire the house, he had no clothes, because if he put on the clothes, he would be appear to the people. And therefore, he kept running in the cold winter time. This was a very bad time which he picked to move outside being invisible without clothes, because he was invisible but his body feeling at that time very cold, and therefore he wanted some clothes, food to eat up. He was homeless, without food, without place, so he moved to a shop whereby he found out there some clothes. He put on those clothes and he slept there. That was the mistake he made. And because of that, when he woke up, that was too late, because the two assistants, they were there in the morning time. He was at that time sleeping, but as soon as they arrived in the shop, this is both of them arrived and he woke up. He ran away from there, and to escape from them, he had to again take off his clothes. And this is how he was saved. Then he moved further and he wanted to have clothes again because it was very winter time. He moved to a theater type of shop, and whereby he found some clothes which are used to perform plays. And that this is how he got there. He wrapped up his entire body with the bandages. He got on a brim, a hat that he put on, a nose that he put on also, a nose, a fake nose, and some beard also, that is whisker. And so now he got an appearance. After that, he went to a shopkeeper, and then with his callous, means malign heart, he attacked that person and then robbed him. He took out some cash from the cash, that is cupboard, and then moved away from there. He caught a train and then moved to Epping, named a small town. Then he went to an inn and then he got two rooms for his experiments. Asked the lady who was the owner of that inn, and the name was Mrs. Hall. Asked her not to interrupt me. I won't like this kind of thing. At the same time, he said he nobody like one person I wanted to come and then put my things in the room. And then, having said that, and also having paid the money in advance, he went inside. The lady, Mrs. Hall, wanted to talk to him, but the way he was very much indifferent, very, you can say, short tempered, not talking in a proper manner. However, the lady, Mrs. Hall, ignored all these things because he was paid in advance. This man went inside and then started doing, but within few days, the day he came after onwards, many things started happening, which was those things very mishappenings. Those things like robbery happened in the clergyman house, and the very morning in the house, that is the Mrs. Hall and Mr. Hall, they found the room of this invisible man, that is Griffin, was open. They went inside and found his clothes which he used to always put on, they were on the bedpost. So they thought he must not have been here for a long time since morning. So in the early in the morning, actually Griffin, this invisible scientist, went to the clergyman house, and then the clergyman and the wife, both of them, they were in the other room, and he went there and started taking out the money from the drawer. The sound of that is the chink of the money when he was taking out, those clergyman and then wife, clergyman's wife, they heard, and the clergyman there, he moved there with a poker. And the time he opened the door with very sound and very fast, but he found there no one. He could hear only the sound of the coins which the griffin he was stealing from there from the drawer. Because of this situation, now he was very much surprised and all the time saying this is incredible, this is how possible, very incredible for him. On the other hand, this was something which was not so incredible as the thing which happened with Mr. and Mrs. Hall when they went inside the room. When there was Griffin, he was not there. Actually, when they went inside, then there was the chair which actually rose up in the sky, started swirling there, and then hit on Mrs. Hall. Mrs. Hall was afraid, and then both of them were thrown out from the room. Then the door was slammed down with a thud sound. They ran down to the downstairs, and they were very much surprised. The neighbors started talking that there must have been something witchcraft activity. That means the people, they were superstitions, and they thought about there must be something ghost like or something black magic done there in the inn. But it was not like that. So now Mrs. Hall found there Griffin. Griffin came and gave some money to Mrs. Hall. Mrs. Hall was surprised to see him because in the very morning he said he didn't have the money to pay her, and because cash was over and the check was coming, how soon he got the money to return, and that is also in cash. As he told he would pay the money in check. Because of that, now she had doubt on Griffin. Griffin was not a sort of so simple person. He was short-tempered person. When she again asked, how did you come out from the locked door? And when you were not inside, then how you have been here? It means when you were inside, then I didn't find you out. So how did you come out from the locked door? And if you were the outside, then you should be there inside. Or you were not there. So where you were? So many questions when Griffin was asked, he became very angry. and as he was short-tempered person, he shouted at the lady and said, "What do you want to know me? What do you know about me? Do you know who I am?" And he started unwrapping. It means uncovering his bandages, and then slowly he was getting disappeared. His nose, his bandages, his hand, everything got, that is, he unwrapped his body and he was being disappeared, being uncovered and being disappeared. Having seen that, the neighbors, they were very much amazed. That before that incident, one person was sent for to bring the constable, the whose name was Jaffer. The very time Jaffer came and he saw all these things, actually Jaffer was given the a kind of order from the court to catch that person. So he said, "Okay, I have got the warrant from the magistrate. So whether I have to catch a man without head, but I am going to catch him." He went there, but he could not catch, because very time that person, that is Griffin, he became totally invisible. And the time he was trying to catch him, he was being given some punches by that invisible man, and he fell down. Then again he tried to catch, but he could not do anything, because he was just moving his hands, and then he was being bitten by, from which place nobody knows. And this is how ultimately this scientist, rude and very indolent person, that is Griffin, he escaped from there. This is how the whole chapter is completed. I hope you have understood this chapter. This will be useful for you. Thank you very much.